Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at the patch notes for patch 1.0.8 for Sea of Thieves. Let's get right into it.
Let's go!
Okay, so here is the patch notes for 1.0.8. Going to go through them as quickly as I can for you guys. So we've got on the next, first players can now discard unwanted voyages in the quick menu, so you don't have to go on the captain's table anymore and cancel them. Did you hear that? When transmitting your voice over mic, it's going to show you your voice, so it'll pop up with your name like it does on the Xbox Party when you put the party filter thing on. Stories Untold, there's going to be more lore books like randomly floating around, which is cool. Give and take, resource crates, so like the bananas, the planks, cannonballs. Apparently when they're held by players now, you can actually pop resources or take them out. Distressed chickens, the unsettling sound of a squawking chicken while caged is now more bearable. Music of Legends, the musical sting that plays when entering the legendary hideout has been updated. Updated voice lines for the legendary tavern keeper Louise, the pirate lord, and the Order of Souls NPC Olivia have now have new ghostly sounding voice lines, which is pretty cool. Some visual effects, so improved multiple VFX of weapon impact on grass terrain and cannon impact to water. Icons, so updated the chest UI to make it clear that the players can stroll through the filter tab. Icons are now prettier, bigger and better in general. Out of stock, shipwrights and weaponsmiths were no longer stocked. 8 cosmetic pieces which weren't visually distinct enough. I'm not sure which ones these are, but they did say previously that there was going to be removing those 8 items. Launch crew Eye of Reach, which I did a previous video about. They kept it in for an extra week due to its popularity, but it has now been removed. Okay, there's a couple of new features. I think these are what they're classing as their new features. Is the colorblind assist. There's now a high contrast X marks the spot option in the accessibility settings. Enabling this will change the red X on the map with a white and black outline, so that people with red-green color blindness can actually play. An aim sensitivity slider. Players can customize their controller and mouse sensitivity, specifically when aiming with a ranged weapon. The blunderbuss, the flintlock pistol, and the eye reach each have their own sliders to adjust. And sheesh. Additional muting options have been added to my crew. These now include the ability to mute voice, text chat and non-verbal phrases separately. Okay, so we've got some performance issues. It's saying while in the ship and in multi-ship scenarios, performance has been improved. Server optimization to reduce latency. Frame rate while streaming islands have been improved. Improved gunplay and high latency network conditions, and multiple server and client crash fixes. These are a couple of the fixed issues. We've got issues giving items has been resolved, and the feature has now been re-enabled. So that's one of the features, the last feature out of the 3 that they added last week and then took away. So now you can pass on resources, which is pretty fun to pass a banana. Skeleton fort keys no longer drop in inaccessible locations. Dates displayed on pocket watches will no longer go out of sync. Fix an error on Smuggler's Bay and Plunder Valley where the bounty skeletons will not spawn in. Pirates should no longer lose their clothing upon respawning on death. It says it's fixed, it's not, because I'm still coming in naked, which is quite funny. Changing your bucket at the equipment chest will be a water spill out instead of just vanishing, so be careful not to flood your ship. Players should no longer encounter an issue where they're unable to interact with reward items floating in the water once they leave the area and return. So if you the only thing I think that is that if you're on your sloop or whatever you're on and you get sunk and you got your loot, but they've got sunk as well, for example, apparently you couldn't pick up those items if you return, but we all know there's like a certain amount of time and they sink anyway, so I'm not too sure on what that fully means. Barrels of Plenta no longer disappear when respawning onto your ship after death. Improved movement and skeleton movement on the skeleton forts, which is interesting. I haven't done one yet, so I can't really say. Instruments no longer sound muffled, cut out when being played at the back of the sloop. Opening the vanity chest multiple times in a short span of time will no longer cause the pirate preview to stop appearing. It is now possible to loot all items in skeleton fort vaults, which is a good one. There's always that one little chalice or one little trinket that gets stuck. Apparently they've moved that item away, is what I would have thought, so it never spawns there again, so that all items can be taken away. The prompt to talk to the Merchant Alliance NPC on the Sanctuary Outpost is no longer missing her name. Chicken movement should no longer appear jittery. Pirate Legend Band in the Howdah now plays audible shanties. The legendary Tavern Keeper was loading the wrong text loadout. The correct text loadout has now been rebound to the NPC. And players will no longer incorrectly hear ambient sounds, storm, rainbirds after using a mermaid, exiting the ferry, or being teleported after getting stuck. There's still the same known issue for the in-game content, and there's also washed up items including messages and bottles are still disabled following issues in last week's patch. We're working on getting those back as soon as possible. So the washed up items and messages in the bottles are not back as of yet, which is a shame because that's always a good fun thing to get to your island, have a little look what's on the beach. So there you go, that's the patch notes before the big one, before the 100 Green Deep drops on the 29th of May. Let me know what you think about all those included fixes and new features in the comment section, and I'll be back soon with more Sea of Thieves information and gameplay. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comment section. And if you're new to this channel and you're enjoying Sea of Thieves, then please do like, comment, share, subscribe, notification bell, all that jazz, and have a great rest of the day and take care.